Okay, so for question 3, we need to show that 4 over r factorial minus 5 over r plus 1 factorial. This is question 3 of your sequences and series console worksheet. Right, so for here, equals to 4r squared plus 7r minus. Okay, so what we do is for 4 over r. Okay, so actually 4 over r factorial minus 5, we just need to show, okay, for question 1, we're supposed to show that this gives us 4r squared plus 7r minus 1 over r plus 2 factorial. So here we need to understand the r factorial, how the factorial goes. So if you don't know how r factorial notation work, go back and revise. Here, 4 over r factorial, okay, the trick here is you observe that your final working, right, this is one single fraction. What does it mean? It means that you look at your working here, most likely you need to combine it into one single fraction. So how do you combine it? It means that you need a common denominator. How do we create a common denominator? We need to do a bit of manipulation. So number 1, r factorial, right? I can say, what I can do is I can also say that this is the same as 4 r plus 1 r factorial r plus 1, right? Okay, so no feelings lost. Right, so if I can multiply the top by r plus 2, the denominator will also multiply by r plus 2, right? Similarly, for the second term, I can multiply by r plus 2 on the top, and the denominator I have r plus 2 multiply to r plus 1 factorial. For the last term, it will just be by itself, r plus 2 factorial, because this is the largest term. Okay, for that, you can see that actually, right, if I were to take r factorial times r plus 1 times r plus 2, actually this just gives me r plus 2 factorial. Similarly for this just gives me r plus 2 factorial. And then there we go, we can actually combine every single term together. So we just have 4r plus 1, r plus 2, minus 5r plus 2 plus 1 over r plus 2 factorial. And you see, now we get a nice beautiful term. And simplifying everything, so over here you have 4r squared plus 3r plus 2 minus 5r minus 10 plus 1 and r plus 2 factorial. And simplifying this. Okay, let me erase the extra accidental red marks. Okay, so you just get very quickly, you can easily derive that your summation, right, will just be 4r squared plus 7r minus 1 over r equals to r plus 2 factorial. Okay, so quickly we have done the first part, and second part we hence now find the summation for this term, okay, from 1 to n. Okay, so if based on what we found just now, we know that this summation, this summation, 4r squared plus 7r minus 1 over r plus 2 factorial. Hence, right, means we use the earlier part. Okay, so we know we have this is the same as writing down r equals to 1 4 over r factorial minus 5 over r plus 1 factorial plus 1 over r plus 2 factorial. Okay, and very quickly we can see, you suspect anything? So we suspect summation, sequence and series, you have a difference between 2 or 3 terms, you basically can suspect that you are using MOD, which is a matter of difference. Right, and MOD over here, so MOD, the common strategy, we just write out all you do is just write out the first term. So let r equals to 1, for example, right, you will have 4 over 1 factorial minus 5 over 2 factorial plus 1 over 3 factorial. Next, what you can have r equals to 2, you have 4 over, so r factorial will just be 2 factorial minus 5 over 3 factorial plus 1 over 4 factorial. Alright, and since you have 3 terms, right, it's better that you write out 3 lines. So from here we can't see any cancellation yet, but if you have 4, write out r equal to 3, 5 over 4 factorial or 5 factorial. Do you see any cancellation? Right, so based on your experience in the past, you can see that actually this is, the cancellation goes this way. Alright, it goes this manner. Alright, and if you are left with 3 terms on the top left, likely you also be left with 3 terms on the bottom. Alright, so what we do is we now just write out the last two terms. This one will just be r equals to n minus 1. This will be the second last term. You will end up with, so if the bottom term here, cancellation, everything, you will be left with likely 1 over r is n minus 1, so it's n plus 1 factorial. This will be the last term. Right, recall r equals to n minus 1. You sub this into your 1 over r plus 2 factorial. That's how I get the minus 2. And last two terms over here, when r equals to n, you just have 5 over n plus 1 factorial plus 1 over n plus 2 factorial. Right, this will be your bottom three right terms that you are left with. Okay, and then very quickly, what I need to do is now summation. I just quickly write out the remaining answers. Writing out the top three, I have 4 over 1 factorial minus 5 over 2 factorial plus 4 over 2 factorial. Okay, writing out the three terms here, n plus 1 factorial, this is what I'm left with. Okay, I'm just going to write them down as part of the answer. 1 over n plus 1 factorial minus 5 n plus 1 factorial plus 1 over n plus 2 factorial. Okay, and simplifying this portion, I have 4 minus 5 over 2 factorial is 2.5 plus 2, I'm going to get 3.5. Okay, and hey, so I will have plus 1 factorial, n plus 1 factorial, n plus 2 factorial. What I can do is I can combine these two, and this will give me a minus 4 n plus 1 factorial plus 1 over n plus 2 factorial. Alright, and with that you are done with part 2. Okay, so give a reason why the series converges and write down its value. So you know, basically, right, we know that if we were to sum this, if we were to sum infinity r equals to 1, so this is the one that we are actually trying to find, right? R plus 2 factorial, right? So you know that this sum eventually, right, this is the same as if I were to let limit n goes to infinity and take n, and this is the same as what we are trying to do here, right? So it's r plus 2 factorial, and let me write, this is minus 1. Okay, and from here, what is this? Based on our earlier portion, we have found that this is just a limit n goes to infinity. This summation from earlier, we know that it's just 3.5 minus 4 over n plus 1 factorial plus 1 over n plus 2 factorial. Okay, and as n goes to infinity, what does this go to? Okay, you are very right, it goes to 0. Right, so because you can say that n limit n goes to infinity, 4 over n plus 1 factorial goes to 0. The limit of n goes to infinity, 1 over n plus 2 factorial will go to 0 as well. So what's your answer? The final answer, because this goes to 0, this goes to 0, your answer is just 3.5. Alright, and that's the end of question 3 for your sequences and series consolidation